In this tutorial you're going to be learning how to use the accelerometer in your phone. So I made this application that gives you the acceleration in the X, Y, and Z axis. Now notice that while my phone is resting, we have an acceleration value in the Z direction. That's because gravity is actually affecting the sensor. And as you might know, gravity is 9.8. So we're getting a value of 9.4, which is pretty close. So just keep in mind that gravity also affects the value of your accelerometer. So let me move the phone around just to show you how it changes the values. So that's the application. Let's go ahead and take a look at the code. Go ahead and open your main layout file, and we're gonna need a text view where we're gonna put the values of the acceleration. Let's go ahead and change the ID to acceleration. And you can leave the text as it is, or you can just give it a just a different label. And this value is going to change anyways whenever the acceleration changes, so the user probably won't even get to see this value. But just in case the sensor doesn't start, at least the user will see that the app has started. Now go to your activity Java file. So we're going to need a sensor manager object, a sensor, and a text view object. The next thing we're going to do is make our sensor manager. Now let's go ahead and make the accelerometer sensor. Now we're gonna have to register our sensor listener, but before we do that we have to make the listener. So let's go ahead and implement the listener in this same class. So now let's register the listener. Now let's go ahead and assign the text view from our layout to the text view variable. So the function we're gonna be using is the onSensorChange function, and this is where we're gonna change the value in our text view. to whatever values we're getting from the accelerometer. So that's the application. Go ahead and run it, and you should be able to get the same result that I had earlier. Now, you might be wondering how I knew that I was gonna have to use an array and all that. If you type event, you get a description here for the values variable, and the first, right on the first sensor description, it tells you what the values array is gonna have in it. So it says here value 0 has the acceleration minus gx, and similarly for the other two values. If you scroll down, you're gonna see that it has a more detailed description of the formula used by the sensor, and it even has some example code. And it also has a description for every other sensor. So that's how I knew that I had to use the values array. That's it for this video. Watch my other videos for more Android development tutorials.